Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So we are continuing to read from Srimad Bhagavatam. We finished yesterday chapter 17. We heard the history of Kaliya. Also we heard how Krishna swallowed the forest fire. Now comes to chapter 18. Lord Balarāma slays the demon Pralamba. Are you all able to hear me all right? Is that okay?
Still soft, Shilpaji.
Still soft, huh? Actually, I thought change the setting because I had joined another meeting, but then I don't know, ever since that,
I think since last few days, it's been little softer.
Yeah, it's because after I attended another meeting, since then you're saying, now, are you able to hear me now?
A little better, but still not that very clear like how it used to be. Right, Snehaji?
Yeah, it's a bit soft.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's a bit soft. I still don't like. I can
also. Now also. Soft
Yeah.
also still.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's still soft.
And this also is soft. I don't
Yeah.
know what else to do. Yeah, I'm not sure what happened again. Okay, let me try to speak a little louder, maybe.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe. Is this better then? Does
Yes.
this help?
This is
Yes.
much better than before. Not perfect, but better. Yeah.
Better, huh? Okay. Okay. So, okay, we'll read the summary of the chapter. The killing of Pralambasur is described in this chapter. While playing happily in Vrindavan, Lord Baladev climbed up on the shoulders of the demon Pralamba and struck his head with his fist, destroying him. Sri Vrindavan, where Krishna and Balaram enacted their pastimes, was even during the summer decorated with all the qualities of spring. At that time, Lord Sri Krishna would become absorbed in various sports surrounded by Balaram and all the cowherd boys. One day, they were intently dancing, singing, and playing when a demon named Pralamba entered their midst, disguised as a cowherd boy. The omniscient Lord Krishna saw through the disguise, but even as he thought of how to kill the demon, he treated him as a friend. Then Krishna suggested to his young friends and Baladev that they play a game involving contending parties. Taking the role of leaders, Krishna and Balaram divided the boys into two groups and determined that the losers would have to carry the winners on their shoulders. Thus, when Sridham and Rishabh, members of Balaram's party, were victorious, Krishna and another boy in his party carried them on their shoulders. Pralambasur thought that the incomparable Lord Sri Krishna would be too great an opponent to contend with. So the demon fought with Balaram instead and was defeated. Taking Lord Balaram on his back, Pralambasur began to walk away very swiftly. But Balaram became as heavy as Mount Sumeru, and the demon, unable to carry him, had to reveal his true demoniac form. When Balaram saw this terrible form, he struck the demon a ferocious blow on the head with his fist. This blow shattered Pralambasur's head, just as lightning bolts hurled by the king of the demigods shatter mountains. The demon repeatedly vomited blood and then fell upon the ground. When the cowherd boys saw Lord Balaram return, they joyfully embraced and congratulated him as the demigods showered garlands of flowers from the heavens and glorified him. Okay, text 1. Shri Shuka Vacha.
रश्मि आंटी, आप पढ़ना चाहोगे? वो हिंदी में कर देंगे।
हाँ, हिंदी चाहिए।
हाँ, एक मिनट, रश्मि आंटी पहले बोले। रश्मि आंटी,
इधर हिंदी।
शी इज नॉट रिप्लाइंग मैम। रश्मि आंटी।
नेहा, मेरा
हम्म।
गला बहुत खराब है और बिल्कुल चोक ये हो गया
अच्छा,
है।
ठीक है।
मैंने कैसे से भी आरती किया, मेरा
ठीक है
मन
आंटी,
करता है ना।
मैं पढ़ लूंगी, नो प्रॉब्लम। शिल्पा जी नॉर्मल ही रख लीजिए, थैंक यू।
हम्म।
ओके, आई रीड या। श्री शुक उवाच।
अथ कृष्ण परिवृतो
अथ कृष्णः परिवृत्तो
ज्ञातिभिर्मुदित आत्मभिः
ज्ञातिभिर्मुदित आत्मभिः
अनुगीयमानो न्यविशद
अनुगीयमानो नैविशद
व्रजं गोकुलमण्डितम्.
व्रजं गोकुलमण्डितम्।
Translation and purport by the disciples of His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Sukadev Goswami said, surrounded by his blissful companions who constantly chanted his glories, Shri Krishna then entered the village of Raj, which was decorated with herds of cows. So after the forest fire, right? Then the next, so not killing, subduing Kalia. Then they slept at night and near the Yamuna. Then in the night, forest fire. Then in the morning, they're all going back to Vrindavan. Praje Vikridator Evam
व्रजे विक्रीडतोरेवम्
Gopala Chadamamayaya
गोपालछद्ममायया
Grishmo Nam Martur Abhavan
ग्रीष्मो नाम ऋतु अभवत्
Nati Preyan Charirinam.
नाति प्रियान् प्रेयान् शरीरिणाम्।
While Krishna and Balaram were thus enjoying life in Vrindavan in the guise of ordinary cowherd boys, the summer season gradually appeared. This season is not very pleasing to embodied souls. In chapter 18 of Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Srila Prabhupada comments as follows. The summer season in India is not very much welcomed because of the excessive heat. But in Vrindavan, everyone was pleased because summer there appeared just like spring. So summer gets so hot. But when Krishna was there in Vrindavan, summer was like spring. Very pleasing. So now it really gets hot.
या
Krishna never leaves Vrindavan. Krishna is always there. But now his pastimes are unmanifest. And now the summers in Vrindavan are so hot, so hot. Such a Vrindavan Guner,
स च वृन्दावन गुणैर्
Vasant Iva Lakshita,
वसन्त इव लक्षितः
Yatraste Bhagavan Sakshat,
यत् यत्ता यत्रास्ते भगवान् साक्षात्
Ramena Saha Keshavaha.
रामेण सह केशवः।
Nevertheless, because the Supreme Personality of Godhead was personally staying in Vrindavan along with Balaram, summer manifested the qualities of spring. Such are the features of the land of Vrindavan. So Krishna Balaram are there. So the summer season is appearing like spring. Spring is pleasing. Yeah? Spring is nice and cool. Kind of now, right? Now it's kind of spring. Quite cool. Not so hot, not too cold. Yatra nirjara nirrada
यत्र निर्झर निर्हाद
nivritasvana chilikam
Nivritta Swanajhelikam.
Shaswata Chikararchisha
Shashwat-Shikar-Shijisha.
Druma Mandala Manditam.
Druma-Mandala-Manditam.
In Vrindavan, the loud sound of waterfalls covered the cricket's noise, and clusters of trees constantly moistened by spray from those waterfalls beautified the entire area. This and the following three verses describe how Vrindavan manifested the features of spring even during the summer season. So the waterfalls are there. That's what's cooling the area. Waterfall, so the water from the falls is going on the trees. Everything looks so beautiful. Sarit sarapras paranormivayuna
Sarita Saraprastravanor-mivayuna.
kalara kanjot palarenu harina
Kalarka-jota-palarenuharina.
navedyate yatra vanau kasamdavo
न वेद्यते यत्र वनोकसाम्यवो.
nedagavane arkabhavoti satpale.
निधा गुवाहील अर्क भवति शाद्वले.
The wind wafting over the waves of the lakes and flowing rivers carried away the pollen of many varieties of lotuses and water lilies, and then cooled the entire Vrindavan area. Thus, the residents there did not suffer from the heat generated by the blazing summer sun and seasonal forest fires. Indeed, Vrindavan was abundant with fresh green grass. So the waterfalls, they are moistening the area, the water from the waterfalls. Then there's the wind. The wind, nice wind is blowing over the lakes, over the rivers. And in this way, and they're also carrying the pollen of the flowers which are in the rivers and the lakes, the lotuses, the water lilies. And so the entire area is becoming cool. Agadatoya hridini tatormibhir
अघाधतोया हृदनी तट उर्मिभीर.
ravat purishya puline samantataha
द्रवत् पुरीष्या पुलिने समन्ततः.
nayatra chandam shukara vishobhana
न यत्र चण्डा न शुक्रा विशोल्बणा.
bhuvo rasam shadvalitam chagranate.
भुवो रसं शाद्वलितं च गृह्रते.
With the flowing waves, the deep rivers drenched their banks, making them damp and muddy. Thus, the rays of the sun, which were as fierce as poison, could not evaporate the earth's sap or parch its green grass. So, the rivers are also full of water. They're kind of very full because usually in summer the rivers become very dry, right? Here the rivers are full, so the banks are also full and they're damp and muddy. And so there's enough water, enough wind, so that the sun's rays does not increase the temperature. There's enough water and wind to make the atmosphere very cooling. Vanam kusumitam shriman
वनं कुसुमितं श्रीमत्.
nadachitramrigadvijam
तदं चित्रं मृगाद्विजम्.
Gayan Mayura Brahmaran
Gayan Mayura Brahmaram
Kujat Kokila Sarasam.
Pujat Kokila Sarasam.
Flowers beautifully decorated the forest of Vrindavan, and many varieties of animals and birds filled it with sound. The peacocks and bees sang, and the cuckoos and cranes cooed. So, Vrindavan, very beautiful description Sukadev Goswami is giving us. There's beautiful flowers everywhere, and there are so many animals and birds. And the peacocks are dancing, and the bees are singing, and then there's the cuckoos are there, the cranes are there. So all in all, it's like um, music. They are making such beautiful music. Kridishya manas tat Krishna.
Kridishyamanas Krishna
Bhagavan Bala Samyuta.
Bhagavan Bala Samyukta
Venum Viranayan Goper.
Venum Viranayan Gopen
Godane Samrito Vishal.
Godhane Samvrittah Avishat.
Intending to engage in pastimes, Lord Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, accompanied by Lord Balarāma and surrounded by the cowherd boys and the cows, entered the forest of Vrindavan as he played his flute. So one day he is entering, Krishna Balarāma going to the forest of Vrindavan with their cows, with their gopals, and Krishna is playing on his flute. Pravala Barastabaka
Pravala Varhastabak
Sraddhatu Kritabhushana
Sraddhatu Kritabhushanaha
Rama Krishna Tayo Gopa
Rama Krishna Adayo Gopa
Nandritur Yuyudhur Jaguhu.
Nanrittu Yuyudhu Jagur.
Decorating themselves with newly grown leaves along with peacock feathers, garlands, clusters of flower buds, and colored minerals, Balaram, Krishna, and their cowherd friends danced, wrestled, and sang. What are they doing there in the forest?
They are decorated, so they are dancing and they're also wrestling and singing
Yeah. And what are they decorating themselves with?
with the moorpunk, the feathers, the
Yeah.
peacock feathers,
Uh,
and the flowers, the garlands, and the cluster of the flower buds, and
yeah.
with different minerals, different colored minerals.
Yeah. Yeah. So we can see they're playing with these natural things which are there available in the forest. Krishnasya nrityatah kechij
Krishnasya nrittayah kechij
jagu kechid avadayan
jaguhu kechid avadayan
venu panitale shringe
venu panitalah shringeh
prashash amsur athapare.
prashash amsur adhapare.
As Krishna danced, some of the boys accompanied him by singing, and others by playing flutes, hand cymbals, and buffalo horns, while still others praised his dancing. Wanting to encourage Sri Krishna, some of the cowherd boys openly praised his dancing. So Krishna is dancing, and some boys are singing, or they're playing their flute, or their buffalo horns, or hand cymbals, or they're praising, oh Krishna, you dance so good, you dance so good. So all in all, they're so happy. When you're happy, we dance, right? We are happy, we dance, and then some people may come around us, clap hands. Oh, so good. Encourage. So Krishna is happy, his friends are happy. Gopa jati pratichanna.
Gopajati pratichanna.
Deva gopala rupino.
Deva Gopala Rupino.
Edire Krishna Ramaucha.
Indire Krishna Ramaucha.
Nata iva natam nripa.
Nata Iva Natam Nripa.
O king, demigods disguise themselves as members of the cowherd community, and just as dramatic dancers praise another dancer, worshipped Krishna and Balaram, who were also appearing as cowherd boys. So the demigods have also come. They have become like the Gopas. They've taken form of Gopas, and they are also encouraging Krishna. They also want to see Krishna and Balaram dancing. So demigods are also here. Brahmane Langane Sheper.
Brahmer Langhaner Shepe.
Aspotana Vikarshane.
Asfotana Vikarshane.
Chikridatu Nyudena.
Chikridatu Niyudhena.
Kaka Pakshadharau Kvachet.
Kakapakshedharo Kvachit.
Krishna and Balaram played with their cowherd boyfriends by whirling about, leaping, hurling, slapping, and fighting. Sometimes Krishna and Balaram would pull the hair on the boys' heads. The Acharyas have explained this verse as follows. The word Brahmane indicates that the boys, pretending they were machines, would sometimes whirl about until they became dizzy. They would also sometimes jump about. Rangane. The word shape indicates that sometimes they would hurl objects like balls or stones, and that sometimes they would grab each other by the arms and throw one another about. Ashfotana means that sometimes they would slap one another's shoulders or backs, and Vikarshane indicates they would drag one another about in the midst of their play. By the word Nudena, arm wrestling and other types of friendly fighting are indicated. And the word Kakapakshadharo means that Krishna and Balaram would sometimes grab the hair on the other boys' heads in a playful manner. So the acharyas are explaining us, they are playing about like how, small boys will play about, right? We say ordinary boys they're pretending they're machines, or they'll go round and round. They're dizzy, they're jumping, then they're playing with ball or stones, and then they're grabbing each other sometimes and throwing each other, slapping on the shoulders or backs, or dragging one another, arm wrestling, friendly fighting, like mock fighting. Let's fight, you fight me, I fight you. Krishna Balarama also pulling the hair, grab the hair on the other boy's head. So they're playing like ordinary children here. Krishna and Balaram, the other cowherd boys, and the demigods have also come to see this play. They're so mm, happy. They want to see this, what's happening.
This is how the boys now they play. Yeah, we always see.
Yeah. Boys are like that.
Yeah, boys are like that. Yeah.
And girls will play differently, right?
Yeah.
Girls will play differently. But boys, you put two boys together, and here there are so many boys. So that's how they're playing. Did we stop here?
Yes.
Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila
Jai.
Prabhupada ki jai,
Jai.
Gaur Bhaktavinda ki jai,
Jai.
Hare Krishna. Thank you all.